worst possible thing you could say when you walk into a car dealership. I spent 5 years with Mercedes-Benz, 5 with General Motors, and the worst thing a person could say when they walk in is, if you could just get me to this payment, we got a deal.
So your loan's probably still like 19, which means you got to pay to get out. You're upside down. It's called negative equity. Welcome to Car Shopping Questions and Answers. We're live on all 4 platforms. I can't say all 4 platforms. We're live on 4: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And what we do is we do these shows, these streams, to help you get insider information. I'm a former car salesman for many years, left the industry in 2020, and I've been educating people on how to car shop the new way, which is the right way, which is getting bids on cars, making people bid for your business instead of negotiating. So it's a philosophy we've taught, and we've helped hundreds of people, a couple thousand people now, learn this and get below market deals. And so that's what we do. So if you have some time to spend with us, if you could tag a friend, that'd be great. Let me just make sure I could get to Instagram, and we'll get started with the question. But I do have Dolan moderating in the background. You guys can start typing your questions. And for those of you who don't know, my new book is out. It's my first real formal release of a book. It's called Cars from Home: 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's a digital book, and as part of our release, you can get it for 75% off. In my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, or in the YouTube section of the comments, the comment section of YouTube, or the comment section on Facebook. So you won't pay the normal $97 price. You can get yours for $24 for the next 30 minutes, any of those places. Okay, so now that the housekeeping is done, Dolan, if you want to shoot the first question, and if we have it, that would be great. I see somebody wrote best rebates for vehicles on TikTok. So we're gathering all the questions, y'all. This is live. So if you don't see the banner above us, that means you're watching the live show. We do rebroadcast this stream throughout the day, so you could tell your friends about it. But if you don't see the banner above my head, that means we're live. So let's go, Dolan. Let me take this down. Okay. Oh, all right. Dan, leave me alone from Instagram. Refinancing my loan and moving up to a better car. Okay, so technically, that's 2 separate things. He said refinancing my loan and moving up to a better car. So a refinance really is to keep the car. Anybody who has a high interest rate, or you think you could get a lower interest rate shopping, your goal should be to refinance to lower the rate, but your goal is to also keep the car, because financing is a long-term strategy. You don't want to be switching cars that you have loans on while you still have a loan, because that means you're still in the highest depreciation phase of the car's life cycle, of the car's depreciation cycle. So you're losing money that way. So refinancing is for those who are like, I want to keep my car, but I have a high interest rate, or I think I could have got a lower interest rate, such and so, so on and so forth. Now, replacing the car is a different story. That's when you want to sell this car. That is anybody who has a car right now, your goal is to sell that car. And now with technology and the internet, you could sell a car very quick. I'm not talking about sitting outside meeting people from Facebook Marketplace. I'm talking about going to online car buyers who make cash offers and getting multiple offers so that you can see what your asset is worth on a competitive market. So that is how you're going to replace your car. And then you're going to buy something separate. So I think if you just stay on, Dan, you'll see that we have an entire, entirely different approach to this that's much simpler, because you just mixed a lot of things into one. And you typically don't want to do that because you end up overpaying. If you mix your loan with your car, you're going to overpay. I'm going to tell you why. The loan is its own transaction. That's why there's people who want to give you a loan. They don't sell cars. So there's people in the loan business for a reason. There's money in the loan business. So we shop for the loan like we are shopping for our car separately. So the people who are going to sell us a car are going to get the best deal, is going to win a bid. The people who are going to sell us a car are going to be one of 5 or 10 bids, offers, options we saw. So separate from the loan. Okay? Everybody following? If you're following, then hit the share button. I think every platform we're on has the ability to share. If y'all are enjoying this so far, this might be your first time on the stream. If this is your first time, type the number 1. Shout out to the first time people, welcome. But if you've been with us before, the best thing you could do for us and someone else is to tell them about what we're doing over here. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one in. Amazing 74, I see you on TikTok. Welcome. Welcome. People 31, I see you. What's up? Good to see you. All right, shout out to Pittsburgh. Great to see you. Yeah, I see you. Susan on Instagram. Hello from Michigan. Great to see you as well. Absolutely. What, are the questions coming in too slow? Come on, y'all. Type your questions. We are live, so I want to make sure I just start talking about random things that you should know. So, TikTok, what are the typical costs to have a vehicle shipped? To have a vehicle shipped, that's a bid. See, anything we don't know the answer, it's a bid. That means I'm talking to 3 to 5 shipping companies and getting 3 to 5 prices. See what I'm saying? So when you ask me that question, that's not a question that I get all the time. But if any transaction, and look, I'm gonna give y'all something. Some of y'all gonna have your homes renovated this year, next year. If you understand that the best thing you could do is to have 3 to 5 people submit offers to you, you're going to save more money than anyone. Because you now are shopping multiple offers. When you are negotiating one to many and people know that you're getting multiple offers, they're going to give you the best bid they can. And the best bid they can for a greedy person is this is the best bid I could give you with me making $50,000. I'm not going to make less than $50,000 on this. But some of you, it's going to save you. Just employ this, because you'll see this is how we buy everything else in life. It's amazing when you really understand, like some of these people understand. I got a couple people tapped in with me. Hold on. And the answer to your question from TikTok, Brian, is to get multiple offers. Find out who ships cars. Whenever you find your car, you find 3 people in that area on Google, and you get 3 to 5 offers, quotes to ship. Then you'll know the best price. You won't just know how much it is. You'll know you'll have the best price because you at least got 3 to 5 offers. But look at this. So, and look at the date. Hold on. I just got this. This is crazy. And some of you need a car fast. I want you to understand, when you have a system, that I'm telling you to have a system. Everything we're talking about here is if you get the system, then you'll understand the mindset. It's the system. Look, deal took, from start to finish, this is Teddy, deal took 6 days. Contacted 25 dealers in 4 nearby states. 4 states. So you're sitting at home. It's easy to talk to 20 dealers, connect with them online when you're sitting at home. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to the people tapping the screen on TikTok. Look, I only use the scripts provided from, look, when I provide you scripts, I don't, because we don't talk. The best thing you could do is to be emailing dealers, not talking. It's only a few people you should be talking to when you're setting up a test drive. If you are going to have your car appraised by a used car manager, if you are calling to verify there's no fake fees on a used car and you're talking to a sales manager, there's very few conversations. Who didn't I mention that you should be talking to at a dealership so far? Who didn't I mention? Let me see who's locked in paying attention. Who didn't I mention just now that we're talking to that you should be having on your? Who didn't I mention? I mentioned the used car manager. I mentioned, who didn't I mention? Let me see. Y'all know you got to stay by the phone. We dialogue here. Stay by your keyboard. Nobody got it yet. You didn't hear me mention when we should be talking to a salesperson. Because the times where you should be talking to a salesperson are so few. So few. So when you are communicating, you should be talking to people. You shouldn't, I mean verbally talking. Now, emailing a salesperson, different story. Emailing. Everything you should be doing should be emailing. We go right to the dealers' websites. We use the contact tab. We tell 25 dealers what we want. Takes us 25 minutes doing it, copy and paste. This is easy to do. When you're sitting at home, you could do this while you're making dinner. You're at your computer copying and pasting. This is how simple this is to do. So you can see monthly payment 8.56, 856, 1.16 lease, which is on a $73,000 BMW. A $73,000 BMW. So go ahead, Dolan. This is too. I really want you guys to get the science of bidding. That's where the confidence is going to come from. Getting bids. What's up, Instagram? I see you, Phil. What system should I use to lease a BMW? You can test drive the car. First of all, make sure it's a good car. Go right to Google and type in reliability. Whatever you're looking for, reliability. 2024 BMW, whatever, reliability. Skim the first couple articles. See if you see any red flags, electrical issues, steering issues, whatever. Then you're going to type in same thing, 2024 BMW, whatever, initial quality. This will take you 5 to 10 minutes. Make sure it's not a bad car with some bad data on it, that, electrical issues. A lot of cars were built fast in the last couple of years, so you need to make sure. It takes 5-10 minutes. Now, we're going to get multiple offers. Multiple offers. I want 5 to 7 offers on this vehicle. I want 5 to 7 offers on this vehicle. Now, you can do it my way. In my book, I have something called the 25 to 5, where you're on 25 dealers' websites. I show you, I have a link to the branch. You put your information in, we copy and paste. And you're using a script that I created that says, it tells them what we're looking for and when our deadline is. See, there's no reason to ask for a quote yet, because we don't even know who has a vehicle first. But we do little things that you would skip. We always have a separate email. We always have a separate email. Little thing, but it makes it easy for us to talk to 25 dealers. If you just use any old email, that little thing, that's not a big deal, that's going to ruin you. Because you're going to be trying to talk to dealers in your personal emails and weed through them, all of this little stuff. Another little thing we do, get a Google Voice number. We send it to Do Not Disturb, because we know when we contact people on the website, we're going to automatically need a phone number. That's going to trigger a phone call. We create a Google Voice number and we use that. We're not talking. Why in any modern age since the internet's been invented are we still talking to salespeople? You don't talk to buy a TV, do you? You realize that they used to do that. You realize you used to go and talk to a television salesman. You don't talk to anybody to buy a TV. You sit at home, you look at a lot of options, and that's what we're doing with these expensive items. Doesn't matter what they are. Fill in the blank. Go ahead, Dolan. Great question, though. That's how we lease a BMW. Multiple offers, at least 5 to 7. And everything we're talking about is in my new book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You all can get your copy. Anyone who wants it for 75% off, it's normally $97. But in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio, you can get your copy for 75% off, $24. And then we have a comment in the comment section, deshonsbook.com. You can get your copy, but it's only for 30 minutes. Then it's back up to 97. All right, Robin. My lease for my Nissan Maxima is up in July. 12,000 miles, 21,000 payoff. Should I keep it or release it? Okay. We spend a lot of time talking about buying leases out. Some people who have been on the stream knows I think it's the worst thing you can do, and here's why. All you're doing when you're buying your lease is buying a used car. That's it. That's it. If you look at it that way, then should I lease again, or should I buy a used car, which is buying your lease? See, when you're comparing those two things, it's easier for you to see that these are two very different things. A lease is for a person who's not keeping their car 8 years. Shopping for great lease deals, it's thousands and thousands of dollars less, pennies on a dollar compared to what people are paying for new cars when you're getting great lease deals. But if you're keeping your car more than 8 years, then I'm going to purchase it, because my goal is to win and save money in the long term, not the short term. The short term is the first 8 years. People who lease are saving thousands of dollars, and people who get great lease deals, I want to say that because people overpay for their leases. People overpay for their leases all the time. But the question you're asking when you're talking about should I buy my lease out is you're really asking yourself, should I buy a used car or should I lease again? The only difference when you buy your lease and you're buying a used car is that you've already had the car. It's your car already. So the excitement wears off. And let me end this with why. Because I hope if I tell you stories, you can tell these stories to people. When you hear them talk about buying their lease, you might not remember what Deshone said, but you can remember the story. So this is why you don't buy your lease out. When I was in the dealerships, I remember being in Mercedes and a guy comes in. He has a 5-year-old car. Now, please stay by the keyboard because I really want to see your comments. A guy comes into the dealership. Now, he has a car I can see. It's not the most recent one. It's probably 5-6 years old. Relatively new, though. But I'm like, okay. He's like, Deshone, I'm looking at this one here. I'm like, all right. Well, you want to replace this one? Yes, I want to replace that. I'm like, okay. How old is that? What year is that one? So, okay, it's 5 years old. Okay, it's 5 years old. Now you've had it since it was new? Yes, I had it since it was new. Okay, perfect. Now, if you hear that a person has had a car 5 years, and they've had it since it was new, wouldn't you think it was either paid off or almost paid off? Yes or yes? Yes, right? Yes? Hold on, I'm looking at all the comments. Let's go. Yes, right? Okay, we're clear on that. So I'm now going and looking and saying, this is a person who is replacing a used car, a car that they've had, and they're replacing it way too early where it's still depreciating rapidly. When we look at the depreciation curve, y'all know this is if you've seen some of my other videos, this is the depreciation curve. So the vehicle's going down in value like this. So a person comes in and they're trying to replace it while it's still going down in value like this. See, when you have your vehicle long term, now it starts to go down in value like this. You're only losing a little bit in depreciation every year. So I'm already prepared to tell this person about leasing. And I know they're going to love it because I know what they paid all into that vehicle they've had since it was new. I know what they paid. They got the whole vehicle either paid off or almost paid off. So I know you put a ton of money into this. You're getting ready to see you're not going to get it all back because the vehicle's depreciating so much. But here's what you are going to get: a big check, because you're going to pull all that equity out, put that in your bank, and I'm going to tell you how you lease this car you like, and you're going to have a great payment, and you're going to have a bunch of money in the bank and a new car. And Lauren did this, who I know, she's actually somebody I know that lives out here by me, and she followed it, and she was like, I walked away with a lot of, this is, I walked when she was in the pandemic, when she really, anybody who cashed out during the pandemic, that was a historic event. 3 years of inflated car prices from 7 to 15,000 more. Those days are over though. So, but you're going to walk away in a normal market. That is what's going to happen to a person who's bought their cars, keeps trading them in 3, 4, 5 years, and then they start leasing, because now that equity that you have goes in the bank and you're signing lease deals with no money down. Like everyone I think I show you guys is a no money down lease deal. Zafrina, $65,000 Jeep, $579 a month, no money down. Look, Scott, Teddy, $829 a month, $73,000 vehicle, no money down. Leasing price, 2024 Volkswagen Tiguan, look, $565 a month, down to $520. That's probably a $40,000 vehicle, $43,000. This is, so when you guys see they advertise leases with money down, that's my point, is to show you that those are not lease deals. Yes, those are lease advertisements, but they're not lease deals. And the only way you are going to get lease deals, below market deals, is if you are getting bids, and we have the best way to do that. That's what we talk about here. All right. Go ahead, Dolan. So that last 10 minutes should answer the question for anyone thinking about, should I lease again or should I buy my lease out? All right. All right, Instagram, I see you. If MSRP is 52,000, should I be expecting to pay 47? Well, what if you can pay 42? You know what? How do you know? How do you know the below market deal on that car isn't 42? See, this is what we call feeling for the bottom. This is something negotiators do. You're feeling for the bottom. You're trying to see what's the bottom, because you don't want to leave any money on the table. But here's the bad part about that. You have no reference point to even know where the bottom would be at. Now, I'm going to show you dramatic cases. Let's just say you're Sean. You're going in, you said Shao Bugs. Shao Bugs, pay attention here. Like, look close at this. Let's just say you're this guy, Sean. He's, look, MSRP is 73,000. What if he would have said, should I go in looking to pay, 65? Matter of fact, maybe I'll shoot for 10,000 off. Maybe I'll shoot for 63. So if he goes in like that, yeah, he might get 63. Now he thinks he won. Well, if he moves different, like Sean actually did, and gets multiple offers, now look, he ends up getting over 20,000 off. He ends up getting over 20,000 off. See, you don't know what the bottom of the market is on a vehicle. And you'll never know shopping one offer. That's why I'm telling you, 5 to 7 offers needs to be your minimum standard moving forward. This is a 5-figure item. A car is a 5-figure item. Some of you 6 figures. If you want to win, you got to start bringing this level of, I know it's uncommon, but it's common sense, but it's very uncommon. Because the reason why I say it's common sense is because we do it with everything else. When we go shopping, we always look at all of these options. That's what Amazon is. Bunch of options, bunch of different people, Walmart.com. We use it all to make sure we don't get what? Overcharged. So, but for expensive items, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 vehicles, we only talking to 2 and 3 dealers. That is not enough to save money. So, mindset. If that becomes your mindset, you'll see this will become very simple, and you'll see this is how you stay in control. So you cannot pick the bottom of the market. All you can do is shop, let the offers come to you, and then the lowest out of the 5 to 7 offers you get becomes the lowest deal in the market, and you can have the confidence in knowing that, not hoping. You're looking at 5 to 7 offers, you know the bottom of the market. Right? Great question. So that's step 5. In my book, step 5 is multiple offers. You got to do a couple things before that to make sure you're not getting a bad car. And then to make sure before that, you're not leaving any money on the table when you're replacing your car. But step 5, we're getting multiple offers before we buy. Go ahead, Dolan. You can shoot the next one up. Dolan, you there? All right. Oh, this was a long one. Okay. My man. All right. Dan, leave me alone from Instagram. I see you. Okay. How do you lock in that deal when you go in person to speak to them? Because everything changes from what you have on an email to what you have in person. A great question. They're sending you a buyer's order. So we are never going to go into a dealership to pick up our car, because that's one of the reasons we go in a dealership is to pick up the car if they don't deliver. But we're never doing that before we verify in writing that the agreement is actually finalized. And we get a buyer's order emailed to us. We also do a credit application online if we're leasing, not if we're purchasing. If we're leasing, with the buyer's order, as soon as we see it, we look over the terms. We tell them these look great. Please send the credit application. We do the credit application online. The deal is already finalized before we ever get to the dealer, because I'm not wasting time. So if you're going to learn from me, then you're going to not waste time either. I don't like people wait. I'll never put somebody in a position to have me walk out of a dealership. And when you start doing this, you'll see the only reason I'm here is because I know the deal is done. I'm never walking into a dealership hoping this deal is going to get done. That's on a used car, new car, whatever. Because we're getting the offers at home. So if we're getting the offers at home, what is there when we get there? We verified everything at home. Your best used car price, best purchase deal, best lease deal, everything. Go ahead, Dolan. All right. Taz from TikTok, I see you. Shout out to TikTok. Oh, y'all running the likes up. Thank you, TikTok. I appreciate y'all. Every time you hear something that you like, if you could tap the screen, that means a lot. If you are on a platform with a like button, if you could hit the like button, that means a lot. I appreciate it. And if you have a friend, then tell them. Taz on TikTok, how much do you think I can get off the price of a Charger? See, similar question. That's been sitting on a lot for 200 days. Similar question. You can't. What are you comparing that to? What if that car is priced $50,000, but it's other people who got that car for 42, or will sell it to you for 42, 40. How? See, locking you into one car is a strategy. So if I could get you to think that there's only one car out there like this, just one, that's it, one car, get focused on this one, then I'm going to get you to overpay. because you think I have the only car, not realizing there's thousands of them out there. There's thousands of them out there. I got the only one in the market. You don't have the only one in the country. You don't have the only one in the state. And I don't care where you see if as dealers we think that's important, why wouldn't you think it's important? If as dealers we think I have the only one in New Jersey is important, why wouldn't you care to know that? Because you need to know there might only be 6 of this car in the country, but I'm not going to overpay about $50,000 because there's only 6 of them. We could be talking about a Lamborghini. If I can find someone who's not going to charge me somebody who's not going to charge me that, then I'm going to do that. People do it for G-Wagons all day long. They overpay for G-Wagons, $50,000 over sticker price. They're not getting that money back. Hold on. They're not getting that money back. So you can't feel for the bottom. And I'm telling you, some dealers are going to overcharge you by $10,000 for a Charger, $15,000. It's dramatic. So the only way for you to answer this question is to start getting this. Stay at home. You could do it your way. Call dealers, ask for the manager, get yourself 5 prices. Everybody doing homework tonight. But go ahead. Go ahead, Donnie. You can shoot the next question. Like, that's the whole thing. We can't feel for the buyer. I don't care what the question is. Best interest rate, best price on a car. Hold on. What's the most I could get for my trade? All right, hold on. All right. People's on YouTube, I purchased your book. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm looking to get a new car within the next year. I've been listening to the 8-year rule. Amen. God bless you. I've had my car for 6 years, but I need a bigger vehicle with a third row to accommodate. All right, this is a very, very good question. He said he's kept his car for 6 years. The 8-year rule means if you're not buying a car to keep it at least 8 years, you should be shopping for a great lease deal, not a purchase. And a great lease deal is going to be under never more than 1.5%. So anyway, he says he needs a bigger vehicle. So here's the question: how many years are you keeping the next one, people? Because if you need a vehicle, and a lot of you are going to hear when you get how much money you've lost not shopping for lease deals, purchasing cars and trading them in 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. Once you get that, you're going to say, well, when should I switch? The switch usually happens immediately unless you have a lot of negative equity, because there's no benefit to you waiting. A brother of mine who is actually a friend in my neighborhood, he had a Kia Telluride and he purchased it. He's had it a couple years. His wife had an accident. Thank God everyone was fine, but the vehicle was totaled. So he said when he found out about the 8-year rule, he knew he wasn't keeping the car 8 years. He said, I'm gonna go shop for a lease. He ends up getting the same Kia Telluride, the new version though, but instead of paying $800 like he was paying, because it's a $40-something thousand vehicle, he gets it for under $5. He got it up for like $479. Getting bids at home. So it's not just the lease deal. Just a lease alone would have dropped them, probably $150 a month. There's plenty of people leasing Kia Tellurides paying $700-800 a month. So the lease deal in itself would have looked better than his old purchase deal. But a great lease deal, which is what you need to be getting through getting multiple offers, now drops his car payment under $5. Same car he was just paying $300 a month for, $300 more per month for. So this is real money, after tax money. You know how much money you have to bring home to make $300 additional per month on a car loan? You have to bring home $500. That's $500 gross a week, a month. Come on, that's big money. That's big money. So I would make the switch now, and I would just consider how long are you keeping the next vehicle, people? If this next vehicle is going to be more than 8 years, this one that's going to, accommodate with the third row, then keep it for 8 years, purchase it, be it new or used, and go from there. But if you're not keeping it 8 years, absolutely. You pick 3 options and you shop for great lease deals. No doubt about it. Better cars, better cars, more dependable for the family, and less money coming out of your household. What's up, Guts? Good to see you. Go ahead, Dolan. Great question. Great question. We are live, y'all. Whenever you don't see the banner above me, that means we're live. This is our Thursday, May 9th, episode 19. I believe episode 19. Yeah. Ray Donovan from Instagram. I have a 2020 BMW bought in the pandemic. I owe $79,000. I went to trade in. Can you help? Not if the numbers don't work. You gotta look at it like this. You need to find out what is the most someone will pay you for that 2020 BMW. You're gonna go to CarMax, Driveway. This is all online. All these websites. Just take you 20 minutes. Okay. CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, Car Guru, Sell My Car, and Auto Nation, Sell My Car. That's going to get you 6 offers. This is called the equity assessment. So you can't go to you got to figure out who's going to pay me the most for my current car, my current lease. I have to assess if there's equity in the vehicle. Now, once you get 6 offers, that's going to tell you if they're not more than 79, and I don't know what kind of vehicle you have. You might have something that's worth 80,000, 90, I don't know. But you need to find out what you owe and what it's worth. Y'all clear, type a $ if you're clear on that. If you have a car, you want to get a car, before you even think about trying to get a price on the car you want, you need to find out with the car you have, what is it worth and what do I owe on it? Because if it's worth 20, but I owe 18, that means I got $2,000 of equity. And I could pull that out. If it's worth 18, but you owe 20, then that means you have $2,000 of negative equity. And when it comes to getting bids, your goal is to see if you have negative equity, the highest bidder is the lowest amount of negative equity you're ever going to have. So if you get multiple bids and you owe $25,000 on your car, but the highest bid is 23, then what I would do is I would pay the difference. I would take the highest bid and I would pay the difference. If I had that cash, I would pay, because that's the smallest amount your negative equity is ever going to be. Now, if you're negative, if you can't pay the difference, now you have to do what we dread. What's the one thing we don't do? What's the one thing we don't do? This is the only, we might have a bunch of new people on here, so I don't want to ask and assume that everyone knows, but what is the one thing we don't do? It starts with a T. See if anybody knows. It starts with a T. All right, 3, 2, 1. Trade, yes, Peoples, you got it. Peoples, yes, and Dan, leave me alone, Melendez. Got it, yes, I am worthy, yes, got it. I love it. Y'all had me worried for a second. I'm like, man, come on. But yes, y'all tapped in. We don't trade, because you're never gonna get the most money something is worth trading. It's just not gonna happen. A trade is a compromise. You're agreeing to take less. So now what we have people who will pay cash for our cars. So we're now getting multiple offers from those people. We're not trading, But the only time we must trade, which means we have to take a little less than what our car is worth, is when we have too much negative equity and we can't transfer it all over. We can't pay the difference. So now we got to if you have a negative equity situation, you got to get bids for the car you want to buy. Don't overpay for that. This is a big mistake. Some of you, you're all right, I have negative equity. Now I got to make sure the car I want, I got to find who's the dealer that's going to sell it to me for the lowest price. That is the goal, to find the dealer that is going to sell it to me for the lowest price. Negative equity out of it right now. If I'm buying an Acura TL, my goal is I'm going to find a dealer that's going to sell me the Acura at the lowest price. That's the goal. Now, once I find that, I'm going to now bring my negative equity over by asking that dealer who wins the bid, hey, what is, I'm going to be, what is my car worth to you? Can you tell me what my car is worth to you? That's exactly how I would ask. And that's exactly what's in, in my book and everything I teach. That's what we ask at the end. What's my car worth? And then we're adding it to the transaction. But you're taking less because the dealership who wins the bid to sell you a car is not going to be the same dealership that can beat the online bidders in the equity assessment we do. So the best offer in the equity assessment might have been from CarMax for $24,000, but this dealer could only give you $22,000. They're not ripping you off. That's all they can pay. So you're increasing your negative equity. That's why our first option is to pay off the negative equity, cover the difference. Second option is to trade it and with the dealer who wins the bid. But that's it. And the biggest thing is to know the cause of negative equity. You don't lease. That's the cause. The only time that it's in a negative, that you should have a negative equity situation and you're not a person who should be leasing, is in an emergency. Like the last question we got, a gentleman said he needs a bigger vehicle for his family. So he had his current car for 6 years. He said, I need a bigger vehicle. That's an emergency. So that means I can change. If I have negative equity, I'm still going to purchase though, because I'm a long-term person. I'm keeping my next car more than 8 years, or at least 8 years. So I'm going to purchase. But most of you watching, your negative equity is because you don't lease. And you buy your cars and you keep them for 3 years, 2 years, God forbid, 2 years. 1 year is you're paying the most in depreciation, but many of you, it's 3 years you keep your cars, 5 years you keep them, 6 years, and you think that that's a long time. That's not a long time. How many of you have a car? I want you to tell me how many of you have a car in your driveway that's worth more than 8, that's older than 8 years. Tell me the number of years, because I want everyone to get some perspective when they're watching this. Long term, what you think is long term with a car is actually the shortest term losses in the whole car's life cycle. So if you bought your car here for 30, 5 years later, that car is worth 15 grand at best. You lost 15 grand, but 5 years later than that, you won't lose another 15 grand. See, first 5 years, you lost 15 grand in value, depreciation, the unseen expense. But the next 5 years, you might only lose 5, 3. That's when you buy, that's the goal. I want to get to that level of ownership with a vehicle. If it's not that goal, then you're overpaying. You're losing in depreciation. All right, so look, we got Sand, 13 years. Look, 13 years. Bloom and Chosen One, 9 years. Susan, I see you on Instagram. 9 years. Look, you got people. This is long term. This is long term. So, all right, Diana. So 7 years. You think that's a long time. And that's what I want to tell you, because there's been no one to really tell you When do the numbers not make sense? And I'm telling you, buying cars that you're not keeping for 8 years, the numbers don't make sense to purchase them on any level. On any level. One exception, if you buy very inexpensive cars like Facebook Marketplace cars, 7 grand, 5 grand, 3 grand, that's the exception. If you're buying $15,000, $20,000 cars and higher, no, it doesn't make sense, because when you consider a person who's getting a great lease deal, look at Danielle, $550 a month, $44,000 vehicle. She got a great lease deal, sitting at home, $44,000 vehicle. Look, this same vehicle, to purchase it, $44,000. This is $900 a month. There are people who have this same car. You might be watching and you have this same car, and you're like, Deshone, I'm paying $800. I'm paying $700 for that. Oh, I'm paying $600, but I put down 10 grand. Look, $550 a month. She drove away, $44,000 vehicle. If she would have bought this vehicle as a used car, let's say she got one and she paid 30 for it, 30 as a used car. Because some of you think, oh, if I'm gonna get a used car though, on that, I'm gonna do better. If she got this same vehicle as a used car, 44,000, let's say she found one for 30. Forget the taxes, all of that. Let's say they rolled them in for a great deal. $30,000, her payment's $600 a month. Some of you know every $5,000 on a purchase on a loan is $100 a month, about $100 a month, 5-year loan. So 30,000 is $600 a month. So look, do that math. Do that math. $550 a month she drove off in a brand new Audi. The same Audi, someone's paying $800 a month because they never learned about leasing. The same Audi, somebody's got a used one that they're paying $600 a month for because they never learned about leasing. That's why it's impossible to get your best deal when you purchase, but you should have leased. It's impossible. It's impossible. And this is going to be well known, because this is math. So it is math we're making simple so you could understand it. All we gotta do is show you the numbers. I just showed y'all the numbers. Great lease deal, great purchase deal, great used car deals. Lease deal blows them all away. So in the long term, purchasing is the way to go. In the short term, purchasing loses you thousands and thousands of dollars in depreciated value. In the long term is 8 years. That's why you heard somebody mention it earlier, the 8-year rule. So that's what's in my book as well. That's step one, is the most important question, which is how many years are you keeping your next car? So everything I'm teaching is in my new digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. The whole system from start to finish is in there, whether you buy, whether you lease, whether you don't know whether you should buy or lease, whether you should pay cash, paperwork, extended warranties is all in there step by step. And the book is normally $97, but you can actually get yours for 75% off for the next 30 minutes in the comment section on YouTube or Facebook, or in my bio on Instagram and TikTok. So you won't pay the $97 price. You can get yours for $24. And if you're watching us on TV, you could just scan that QR code to get yours. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Next question. And I have something in my eye. Okay, and we are live. So this is our Thursday, May 9th, 7 p.m. live. Vanessa from TikTok, $511 a month, $46,000 vehicle, but I had $8,000 in equity. So you let them all work your deal together. You just work the deal together. How do you know you have $8,000 in equity? Because what if you would have had $9,000? See, how do we know that it was $8,000? Someone told you that? Or was $8,000 the best offer you got out of multiple offers? CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, AutoNation, sell my car. Car Guru, sell my car. So now when you get those 6 offers, then you say, oh, I have some equity. I have $9,280 of equity. So we're never letting someone tell us how much equity we have. Type a $, if that makes sense. Because the only way we know our equity is based on offers, and we're separating that from the person we're buying the car from. The person we're buying the car from must win a bid to get our business. The person we are buying that we are selling our old car to must win a bid to get the business. So we don't mix the two. That's a trade, and that's a curse word in our world. All right. Go ahead, Dolan. Next question. All right. Great questions. Shout Bugs from Instagram. Good to see you. Brand new 2025 Lexus 350. Not even built. Should I compare dealer versus dealer? And when should I tell them that I'm paying cash? Great question. Absolutely, you're comparing dealer to dealer. When a car is being ordered, it's very easy to get bids because it's no longer based on who has the car. So we contact 25 dealers to get 5 offers online. But that's because we know out of the 25 dealers, maybe 8, 10, 12 even have a car that we could be interested in, that could match what we're looking for. But when we're ordering, any dealer can place an order. So everyone becomes a competitor. And I remember a young lady last year, she had the new BMW, brand new BMW. She was looking to order new body style, and she put the offers in. Her best offer, she sat home, she got her offers. Her best offer was $3,000 below MSRP on a brand new body style BMW. So her highest offer was probably 3, 4, 5,000 over MSRP because some people will pay that. So when you're in a position where you're ordering a car, it's critical to just make sure you get 5 to 7. And with an order, I probably get 10. I probably get 10 offers because I know any of these dealers can compete. It's not dependent on who has the vehicle on their lot. And in my book, I do have a section when we order. We usually contact the dealers first to see, though, who has a vehicle on the ground. Because sometimes you'll walk in a dealer the old-fashioned way, or you walk into even 2 dealers and you don't see a vehicle that you like. And you're like, oh, wow, no one has them. And the first 2 things that those dealers are going to say is, we could order it for you. We could swap for you. We could order it for you. So you don't know. Now, in your case, you said it's not even built yet. It's not even out yet. So that's different. But I'm talking about in these cases, it's very important to know that 1 or 2 dealers saying they don't have a car is not the same as contacting 25 dealers online and getting, out of those 25 dealers, 12 of them having a vehicle that you would consider. So you have much more strength at home, much more leverage at home. And that's why you stay at home and you get your offers, whether you're buying, leasing, paying cash. And you would tell them you're paying cash to answer the last part of your question after. Because even when we're getting a loan, we're still getting all our offers as cash offers so that we could just match the offer right to our loan. And it's very easy. So even those of you who are like paying cash or getting a loan, you should still be shopping for all your cars with like you're paying cash. Because when you start doing that, you'll see, all right, my total is $42,300. You're taking that and now you're shopping for your loan with that document. You're not letting the dealer work you a monthly payment. Oh, all right, what's the monthly payment now? No, that's a different process. You need the bank bidding war, and or you at least need to be coming home and letting your bank, your credit union, your online banks compete, and then giving the dealer a shot. So I'm really just telling you the basis of what the bank bidding war is. So again, a process. So what we just went over, I'm telling you, is like step 5, step 6 of my process. Like everything is coming out of the cars from home system, because the cars from home system is the most flawless system for car buying in the world. It works for everybody. So everything I can teach you is always going to be out of one step of our system. And, you know, so yeah, but you have enough to go by now. Make sure you're getting enough offers. And then, you know, whoever gives you the best offer, that's who you do business with. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Great question. Great question. I see you, Chris in Ohio. TikTok. DJ, I see you. Welcome. Sarah from TikTok. Want to get out of a lease, but can't find someone to take over mine. What's my best option? Equity assessment. The only way you could break a lease contract without penalty is to sell it. So you could either sell it to one of the online buyers if you don't have a third-party restriction. You can sell it to the CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, AutoNation, Sell My Car, or Kelly's Blue Book, Sell My Car, or Car Guru, Sell My Car. 6 offers. Now, if you don't have a third-party restriction and you have equity, you could sell your lease to one of them if you could break even, you know. Or sometimes you might not be able to break even. You might have to pay $1,000, but it'll help you get out. But if you, that's the only way to get out of a lease, is to sell your way out of it. Everything else is dropping off the lease, and now all those payments are due. And, you know, so take your time. You should be shopping for. I'm not a fan of getting leased vehicles that you want to get out of into before the 36 months is up, because that means we rush the shopping process. Because with a lease, you can shop you can literally shop dozens of vehicles, test drive them all, and come up with 3 options. I teach you should have 3 options at least, because you got brand new cars. This is the only time where you could go out and literally look at all of these brand new cars, new technology, new seats, all of this stuff, and pick something that you're going to love, or at least really like, for at least 3 years. Because the benefits of leasing are so high when you do it correctly. Brand new cars, lease paying pennies on the dollars compared to people that's purchasing. Always under warranty in most cases. Latest and greatest technology, latest and greatest features. All of these benefits are so large that when you break that contract, there is penalty. When you bring the lease back with 10,000 more miles than you said you were going to use, you have to pay that. Because the deals, when you do it right, is so great. It's so great. Like, you can't even compare. You can't even compare a great lease deal. Look at this. Look, Jared, Volkswagen, $565 a month. He got it down to $520 a month. Brand new Volkswagen, probably a $43,000 vehicle. He pulls off in this $5-something a month. There's people paying $800 for that. There's people paying $700 for that. Like, this is, look, Teddy, brand new BMW, $73,000 vehicle. Look, $856 a month. $856 a month. Multiple offers, using what's in my book. If you're reading this, you see all of this stuff is mentioned in my book. He's using my counter offer calculator. Look, he said, I repeat, I will never, I repeat, never lease another vehicle any other way. From start to finish, this deal took 6 days. I contacted 25 dealers in 4 nearby states. Look, I'm on the Indiana border right side outside Chicago. Shout out to Indy and Chicago. I received 10 offers. I only used the scripts provided. I told you I have the scripts in there for you. The scripts are in there. Closed on a 2024 BMW, $73,000 vehicle, monthly payment $856. This dealer's initial offer came in at $937. Using the counter offer calculator, I counted at $829. He came back with $856. $856. Look, my highest offer during this process from a different dealer was $1123. My local dealer came in at $986. He's paying what? $856. Look, I didn't speak to one salesman on the phone until after the credit was ran and the deal was secured. Come on. Everything we teach is in my book, Cars from Home. You can get your copy in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio, or we have a link in the comment section for you, and you get 75% off. So you won't pay the normal 97. You can get your copy for 75% off, and win. I want you on the winning side. Go ahead, Dolan. Look, that's so funny. Somebody just said Illinois. That's so funny. Peggy on Facebook, good to see you. I got 6 offers on a lease, still 2,000 in negative equity. I plan on leasing. What's the best next step in your opinion? Great question. I would pay the $2,000 if I could. Because negative equity, there's only 3 options with negative equity. One of them doesn't lead to a new car. So the first option is to get bids from the online car buyers, CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book, Instant Cash Offer, AutoNation Sell My Car, and Car Guru Sell My Car. Get those offers because you know it's the highest offers someone's going to pay for this vehicle. Now, what I want to do is see what my negative equity is at the end of that process. Now, in your case, it's 2,000. That's the smallest negative equity you're going to have. So if you can pay, if you have $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 and you're like, okay, I didn't know if I should use this as a down payment or not or what, the most valuable thing you could do for your money is to give yourself the flexibility to bid out both transactions, which means I'm bidding out the old car and I'm getting bids on the new car. I'm not mixing. So in order for me to do that, I got to cover the difference of the negative equity. So that's the best thing you could do. Now, if you can't cover the difference, then now you must trade. And you're not trading and bringing your car in. You're now going to you can only do 1 bid. So in the first scenario, you could do 2 bids. Your old car, bid. Your new car, get bids. And then you win. Now, in your case, if you can't cover the difference on negative equity, you can only do 1 bid because now you're going to get the bid for the car you're buying. And then once you find that car, you're going to tell that dealer what you're going to see what that dealer could pay for your old car. And it's not going to be as much as you would have gotten getting the bids. So the first option with negative equity is always to pay the difference, get the online bids, pay the difference. Second option is get bids and then bring my negative equity over. Now, third option, which I said one of them doesn't lead to a car. If you have too much negative equity, you will not be able to transfer all of that negative equity over. But it is vitally important because the banks have something called loan to value ratios. So you're not going to be able to get you're not going to be able to get the bank to approve $40,000 on a $28,000 car. So if you have 10,000 of negative equity, you can't just get any car because the banks have a threshold. They're only going to usually lend 25% above the value of the car's price on average, 25%, 20%. You know, that's where you usually see most of the loan to value ratios. So now this is something very important we're going to end with. This is why when you're shopping multiple offers, you must save all the money you can off the new car, especially if you have negative equity. Because every dime you save off the new car comes in the total overall loan to value. So I'll give you an example. Go back to Sean. Sean got a $73,000 Ford F-150 Lightning. He saved over $20,000 off the price of the car, sitting at home, getting his offers. Look, he said, I guess I could have put a little more info. I got about 15 quotes. I couldn't find anything under MSRP in my area. Look at this. Very important. For those of you who've been used to shopping local, Sean is telling you stop doing that. I ended up expanding my search to 150 miles outside my area to find this deal. I'm going to another state to pick this up. Something I would have never thought of before. This is what we are talking about. So he saves $20,000 off the price of the car. If he would have had $5,000 in negative equity, it would have been no problem. If he would have had $10,000 in negative equity, it would have been no problem. He wouldn't have gone over the bank's loan to value ratios. Why? Because he shopped so well, he got tons of money off the car so that if he has some negative equity, it wouldn't matter. Look, this is Tiffany. Tiffany got my book. She said, I believe we got a good deal based on what we learned in the book. Vehicles 24 Mazda CX-90. MSRP is $44,820. Look at the discount. Some of you have this car and you didn't get this type of discount. I'm trying to help you. Discount is $6,530. Look, so if she saved $6,500 off the price of the car, she could throw $5,000 in negative equity on the vehicle. She could throw $7,000 in negative equity on the vehicle. So this is why it is critically important that if you are just learning about what's causing your negative equity, which is you haven't started leasing, and now you start trying to switch from your finance, take your negative equity and transfer it over to a lease, it's going to be very important that you understand you must get your bids. You must learn to get the bids and because you need to find out all the money you can get off the vehicle before you bring your negative equity over. Super important. And that's all inside Cars From Home, my new digital book. If you don't want to remember all of this, you might, Deshone, I hear you breaking this down, man. I don't want to remember it, man. Just give me the spot where you wrote it out for me. That is my step-by-step book, Cars From Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can get your copy for 75% off in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio. Click that website and then go to and press the button for the 75% off. So, and in the comment section on Facebook or YouTube, we have a link in the comment section for you guys. Or if you're watching us on television, you can simply scan this banner here with the QR code. You can scan it. So go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next one in. Rusty on YouTube, what's going on? I'm trying to get a used truck. Hey, hold on, Rusty from YouTube. I'm trying to get a used truck and want to finance. Just don't want to make the same mistakes I made before. I have a 550 credit score. So what I would do is I would look at a company like Limbuzz, because your goal is to separate your loan from the car you're going to buy. This is very important. See, if you mix the two, now you're looking for someone to sell you a car and give you a loan. And there's money in both of those things. There's money in both of those things. So you want to make sure you're separating your loan from your actual car purchase. So we don't usually do this until after we find our car, because when you have good credit, you should be shopping for your loan competitively after you secure your car, because that will allow you to have multiple people access your credit in a 48-hour period, and it's going to weigh on your credit score just like one hard inquiry. And you also have the dealers' banks compete once you find the best offer. So you will get your bank, your credit union, online banks to submit their bids for your loan. And if you have good credit, this is what you do. Then you get the dealer to see if they can beat it. But when you don't have good credit, you still want to control getting bids for the car you're going to buy. You don't have the flexibility to do it with your loan because there's less people willing to loan you money. So if they're willing, but it doesn't mean there's no one. So I'm not affiliated with Limbuzz at all. I just know that they are a company that does this. I had another company that I used to mention, and they ended up closing. They were a division of a larger finance company, and they ended up closing the branch. But what I would do is I would go and try to get a pre-approval from Limbuzz, and then I would get the bids for my car and elsewhere. And if there's future companies that come about that are willing to lend See, my philosophy is your credit should be between you and your lender, not between you and the dealership, not between you and the bank and the dealership, not between you and, how about this, everybody in the dealership that know you don't have good credit now because you've been here for 7 hours. Everybody done drove off in their new cars. You got there at 9 a.m. just like everybody else, but now it's 4 p.m. and you still sitting around because they trying to get you approved. This is not the experience you want, and that only comes from mixing your loan with the purchase of the car. So you should be shopping for your car as if you're paying cash for it, and when you find the best price on the car, now you're bringing that car, that buyer's order, to your lender, and you're talking about the loan, and that still gives you the freedom to participate in the third step of the bank bidding war we have, which is where we see if the dealers' banks can beat it. Because once they know you have an approval, you now have more leverage. So when you find your car, dealer wins the bid. Now you make that deal and you come home, call Buzz if they're the one who approves or a company like them, and you now say, okay, I got my car. Let's take this across the finish line. And now, whatever Buzz gives you, you see if the dealers can beat it. You have the car on hold, car's waiting. I'm just going to talk to my lender, and then I'll call you. Okay, Buzz gave me a 11.8 interest rate. If you could do better, I'll go with you. So you're still participating in the bid, no matter what. If I had a 500 credit score, that's what I'm doing. Because here's what I want to guarantee: I get the best price on the car that I want. And I can only do that by making these dealers bid. And then I want to guarantee that even with a 500 score, I got the lowest interest rate that a person with a 500 score could get. And that's only going to come through bids. If the dealer comes back and says, look, I tried everybody, I couldn't get you approved with anyone, no problem. You just go with your original lender from Buzz or whoever. If the dealer comes back and says, hey, well, we saved you 2 points. They were giving you 11.9. We're giving you 9.9, whatever you want. And this is only going to happen when you start bidding. That is what we call the bank bidding war. That's a process I created using what the credit bureaus already allow us to do. That's not a process I didn't have to make up. The credit bureaus have a shopping window where they'll allow you to have multiple banks and lenders access your credit within a constraint, a certain period of time, and it's going to weigh as one hard credit inquiry. Now you'll see the inquiries, but the weight on your score won't be 10 banks. The weight on your score will show the same impact as one hard inquiry. So there's a link that Experian wrote a blog post for anyone who wants to understand this. You can simply we'll try to put it in the comment section for you if you're on YouTube, but you're working within the parameters that the credit bureau set up on how you could shop rates when you're shopping for a car. But the only way you're going to be able to take advantage of it is to separate your car purchase from your loan shopping. Very, very important. All right, y'all. Listen, for everyone who wants to go a little deeper, I do have a masterclass. It's a free masterclass that you can attend. It's about an hour. It's called Everything You're Doing Wrong Buying, Selling, and Leasing Cars. You can access it in the comment section. We have a comment for you, or in my TikTok or Instagram bio. And what I do is I go over 23 mistakes that most of the people are making, and we go a little deeper on just everything concerning car buying. But everything, here's the point: everything I teach is available. You can get it in my free social media videos. You see, I'm teaching out of a 7-step process. You can get it on these free live streams. We don't hold back. We don't hold back. But for those of you who are like, Deshone, I want the whole blueprint, that's my book. For those of you who want to go deeper, look at my video blueprints, my coaching program. Very inexpensive. But it's up to you. That's the point. We have over 2,000 people who said, Deshone, that's what I want to do. I want to go there. That's fine. We have over 6,000 people that said, yo, Deshone, I want the book. Praise the Lord. We got 2 million people who've decided, Deshone, we want to follow what you're doing. And I like the information on social media. I don't care how you get it, as long as you get it. so that when you write me, you're not asking me about your deal, you're sending me your deal. Deshone, look at this. Just got this tied up. Look, picking it up tomorrow. Oh, they delivering it tomorrow. Look at the numbers. I got 7 offers. This was it. This was the lowest price car in the market. This is it. Oh, then I got another 4,000 equity in my old car. Oh, that's what I want you sending me so I can add that to the show. So send me those types of DMs and emails. Those are the ones that I love to see. All right. So always a pleasure, y'all. We'll see you on the next stream. This was episode 19. God bless you.